Hi friends, this is Trish and welcome to Teacher Therapy. Today I want to talk about 10 ways that teaching has changed and not for the better. This video is inspired by a comment I got earlier and somebody said something to the effect of, "What were you expecting?" And the truth is, I wasn't expecting anything that I experienced because when I went to school in the 90s and super early 2000s, I just know teachers did not go through the things that I went through in the last 8 years, people. So without further ado, let's jump in. Number 1, respect is gone. These days, teachers are viewed with suspicion, and a lot of times we feel guilty until proven innocent. Number 2, uncooperative parents. These days, for whatever reason, parents are very confrontational and they question teachers just as much as the students do. Number 3, there is a climate of fear. Parents are afraid of upsetting the kids, teachers are afraid of upsetting the parents, principals are afraid of getting in trouble with the superintendent, school districts are afraid of getting sued, everybody's afraid of going viral for the wrong reason or ending up on the news, and all of this contributes to a lot of really unhealthy extremes. Which leads me to number 4, there is mountains of paperwork. Documentation is needed for absolutely everything, and a teacher's word alone is not trusted. This leads to hours of extra work per week, and it's frustrating because we know there's about a 95% chance that absolutely nobody is going to look at this, but just in case, we need to have everything documented. Number 5, creativity is gone. These days, everything is highly regulated. Teachers have very little freedom, we're tightly micromanaged and controlled, and gone are the days of doing an impromptu unit or project. Everything needs to be tied to a state or Common Core standard, and it feels like nothing can truly be sheerly educational or enriching if it's not going to be somehow monitored or tracked by some kind of test. Number 6, highly political. Things are changing so rapidly in our culture that teachers live in terror of accidentally saying the wrong thing and getting permanently canceled, or worse, doxxed and attacked. There doesn't really seem to be freedom of discussion about things anymore, and there constantly tends to be an us or them mentality. Teachers are afraid to be themselves and believe what they believe if it lies outside of one party line or the other. Number 7, learning isn't really valued. Now, don't get me wrong, there are many wonderful things about the internet and Wikipedia and having all of the knowledge of the galaxies at our fingertips. But because of this privilege, knowledge is seen as so common that it's often completely disregarded. I think subconsciously sometimes students think, why should I learn anything? If I need to know it, I can simply look it up. And there are all kinds of problems with that mentality, but we'll save that for another video. Number 8, students are out of control. As many of you have brought to my attention, there has always been youthful rebellion, but I think there's something about the colliding of popular culture and social media that has turned this rebellion into an out of control monster that can't be put back in the jar. I'm sure all of you guys have already heard about all of the different TikTok channels that focus on harassing teachers or destroying school property, but let's just say that social media and technology are not being used for the betterment of education. Number 9, there is little to no discipline for unruly students. I've already done a few videos about this, but in many instances, teachers feel like they have to have a mile-long list of documentations and interventions and strategies they've tried and everything else under the sun before a student can get a simple consequence. And because of number 2, uncooperative parents, even with all of those things, it's very common that parents are going to push back against any attempt to discipline their child. And finally, number 10, we have unstable methodologies. I started teaching in 2013, and every year there's a new trend, and it often contradicts the thing that we were being told the year before. So one year there might be a huge push for authentic text, so everybody says novels are in. And then the next year it's novels are out, we need short reading passages that focus on test prep strategies. All of the instability makes it really hard for teachers to feel like they're getting time to master their craft, and even worse, when we feel like we finally did master something, then we just know it's going to get taken away or changed the next year. Now, as a reminder, these are generalizations. I know that all of these 10 things are not true for every school or every district, and I know that certain regions of the United States are different, some parts of the world are different, but overall, a lot of these changes are things that I have heard from teachers all over America and all over the world. All of these things are combining with things that I've talked about in other videos, and it's making people leave the teaching field in mass numbers. So what do you guys think? Which ones would you add to the list? And as always, let me know know if you have any video ideas. Have a great day, you guys.